ABC Matt here with a much delayed Vinyl Finds update. So that's why I'm calling this little episode Vinyl Finds, or How I Learned to Stop Procrastinating and Post a Video. So let's get to this. Behind me you'll see the Avett Brothers' newest album, Magpie and the Dandelion. I pre-ordered that a couple weeks ago and it came in the mail today. Jerry Shemp I know is a big fan, so if you guys don't know the Avett Brothers, check them out. New album out. So this one I have no real idea about. It's called Golden Avatar is the name of the band, A Change of Heart. I picked it up because it has special thanks to Stevie Wonder, George Harrison, and John Fahey on the back. So, yeah, no idea what this is. So, Tommy James and the Shondells getting together. Christmas is like 10 weeks away. Can you believe that? Johnny Cash, The Christmas Spirit. I'm a big Johnny Cash fan, so I was really excited to find this. I think it'll be a fun listen. So, Wilson Pickett with I'm in Love. Famous, of course, for In the Midnight Hour. So I thought I'd pick this up and see what it sounded like and give that a shot. So, and then Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack. And not usually what I pick up or my cup of tea, but Nazareth, Hair of the Dog. Really, really nice copy of it. Kind of a album I hear a lot about, so I thought I'd check it out. One of the few Steely Dan albums missing from my collection, Countdown to Ecstasy. Really, really happy to have this one. One of my favorite Steely Dan albums, and nice to own on vinyl now, finally. So. Then up next, Bo and Travis recently showed some Michael Parks. Michael Parks' Long Lonesome Highway. This was a cool find. Bobby Gentry, Ode to Billy Joe. A compilation of jazz called The Sound of Jazz. It's on Columbia. Yeah, I just thought I'd add it to the small jazz collection I have. So this was a find from today, and I'm super excited to have this finally. The Hombres, Let It All Hang Out, or Let It Out. Fantastic, just some garage rock out of Memphis. Yeah, I picked this up today for 50 cents and it's still in the shrink wrap. You can see here somebody one-time special, 59 cents was what this cost new, so awesome. Antenna, Camino del Sol is the name of the album. This is an Italian, I don't know a whole lot about this, so forgive me if I'm wrong. This is an Italian, like a synth pop group. Apparently this album is really influential on a lot of bands in the 80s. I took a chance on it, and when I got home looked up some stuff, did some research on it, and really, really pleased with this pickup. And this one I posted on the Vinyl Community Facebook page, and Derek knew exactly what it was, and of course showed the album. I'm going to butcher this name as well. Zazu Bikay CY1. And I'm not going to even try to pronounce the names of the songs. It was some like electronic experimental type music. This is a UK press. So another one that I took a chance on, and yeah, it looks like it's going to be really, really interesting. And this next one, I knew exactly what this was. Jorge Ben, or George Ben, I have no idea. Again, forgive me, I'm horrible with pronunciations, but I believe Jorge Ben, Africa, Brazil. Some like Brazilian funk, jazz, samba, all kinds of cool stuff going on here. Really influential album as well. Super, super clean copy, looks unplayed. I listened to this last night and it's so good. This is awesome thrift store find. Couldn't believe it was there. The next group of records I'm going to show all came from a few different yard sales. I didn't pay any more than I think 50 cents for these albums. So this next one was from a yard sale that a friend was having, and I couldn't believe this was in his stacks. Dust Heart Attack. Really good copy of this. Some really good early hard rock from late 60s, early 70s. I want to say like 71, 72. Yeah, 72. This was on Kama Sutra. Here you go, see the label there. Fantastic stuff. You know, this album and their self-titled debut have been on my want list for a while, and was so lucky to find this, and I paid $1 for it. Just unbelievable. So from that same yard sale, we have Leon Russell, self-titled debut. This is on Shelter Records. Not in the best of condition, but the vinyl's not too bad. It'll be a good playing copy. Then we have The Flock. This is in the Endless Trip book, but I don't know much about it, so I'm not even going to try to talk about it. I haven't had a chance to play this yet, so Flock. And I didn't have any Black Oak Arkansas in my collection before, but now I've got 3. This is called Keep the Faith. Another one of Black Oak Arkansas. It's really hard to say. Raunch and Roll Live, so a live album. The scariest back cover ever. And their self-titled debut, Black Oak Arkansas. Here we have the T-Bones, Sippin' and Chippin'. I feel like every album I've shown, I've said I don't know much about it, but it's just the truth. I don't know much about it. I'm assuming it's just some like 60s pop. But I don't know. So it just looked interesting, so I took a chance on it. And then we have Roy Orbison, Orbisongs. Sings his own and other great songs. Opens with Pretty Woman. And then we have the Surf and Stomp by the Marquettes. Just some early kind of surf rock type stuff. The Surfer's Stomp, if I can say that correctly. Pretty popular song. Most people know it if you look it up on YouTube or something. So really cool find there. I've never seen it before. So the Dave Brubeck Quartet, Countdown, Time in Outer Space. I've got a couple Dave Brubeck albums now, and I really, really enjoy them. Again, I just have a very small corner of my collection that's jazz and kind of easy listening. So any chance I get to pick some of his stuff up cheap, I grab it. You know, good stuff. And finally, have Neil Young's Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere. And if you can see that down there, it's promotional copy. So promotion not for sale. If I can get that open there. It's taped along the top and the bottom. Looks like somebody was trying to protect from some seam splits, but really doesn't bother me that much. And the vinyl is in really, really nice shape. And there's the Reprise white label. So awesome to find that. Then we have the Hollies Bus Stop. Bo showed his Hollies collection recently, and I commented on it and said I have such a hard time finding the Hollies stuff around here, but found this at a yard sale. Then we have Bee Gees Horizontal. This is on Atco, so it's some of their earlier stuff. Really, really enjoy the early stuff. So, and then the last one from the yard sales, we have Paul Revere and the Raiders going to Memphis. This is also one of the last ones I needed of theirs. I'm pretty sure I have every Paul Revere and the Raiders album. So, yeah. This next stack that I have here is stuff that my wife's boss gave to me. She cleaned out her basement, found a bunch of their records that they had, sent a big box home with my wife, and let me go through them. Some really good stuff here, and even better that it was free. Starting off with the heavy hitter of the bunch, Bruce Springsteen, Nebraska. Still in the shrink wrap, immaculate condition. This is just unbelievably clean. One of the few Springsteen albums I didn't have, and this one was at the top of my want list of his stuff that I don't have, so super happy to come across this. A couple of Blues Brothers albums. This is the original soundtrack recording. Another Blues Brothers Made in America. So yeah, really cool to come across these, and again, super, super clean. This is the Raiders, which is basically Paul Revere and the Raiders after they were Paul Revere and the Raiders. Another Bee Gees on Atco. This is Trafalgar. This is actually an upgrade copy for me. Warren Zevon, Excitable Boy, Werewolves of London. I love that song. It's a big inside joke with me and my dad. So yeah, really clean copy of that. And the last one from the free pile, Elvis Costello and the Attractions Armed Forces. And again, in the shrink wrap, really super clean. Yeah, so I was really grateful. Her boss was willing to give those to me for free, and apparently she's got a whole bunch more that she just hadn't got up out of the basement yet. So excited to see what she's got next for me. Alright, this next stack, the last stack, I promise we're going to get through these quickly. All came from Brian Lee's record store. Blues Magoo's Psychedelic Lollipop. I actually already have a copy of this. This was $1, but I was going to check it to see if this is better than what I have, so yeah. Raspberry self-titled debut. Very, very good album. This was $3. It's a really nice copy of it. If you don't know the Raspberry stuff, check them out. Their first two albums especially, really, really good stuff. So, and I had a friend over on Sunday evening, and we stayed up here and played records for hours and hours and talked about stuff. And we were talking about Graham Parsons. He'd recently come across the double CD set of GP and Grievous Angel. Talking about how we never see the albums, and I came across GP by Graham Parsons. This was $4. Get a really nice copy of that, so very cool to have that in the collection. Another $4 album, Cat Mother and the All Night Newsboys, The Street Giveth and the Street Taketh Away. Kind of famous for touring with the Jimi Hendrix Experience, and Jimi Hendrix is actually listed as a co-producer on the album. I believe it's like some kind of jam band, country rock type stuff, from what I understand. So we'll excited to give that a listen. I finally picked this up. This has been in his store for a while now, and I finally just jumped on it. The Love and Spoonful, Do You Believe in Magic? This was $5. Super, super clean copy. I've wanted it for a while, and I just haven't popped on it, and I decided to give it a go. Then we have the Mindbenders, Groovy Kind of Love on Fontana. One also that I just kind of been sitting on for a while and finally popped on. So this next one I almost didn't buy because I thought it was a reissue because it's so like just mint, ridiculous. Jefferson Airplane Volunteers. It was only $4 as well. Super clean copy of that. An album that's been on my want list for a long time as well. So next up we have the 1910 Fruit Gum Company, Simon Says. Yeah, it's just some nice like Sunshine bubblegum pop type stuff. So, and Travis, I finally found it. I shared this with him on Facebook. It's a Beautiful Day, their self-titled debut. It's taken me forever to find this. This was only $4. I know when I started collecting, I'm sure I saw this in the thrift store bins sometime and thought it was like Sound of Music or something. So it's a Beautiful Day, really good San Francisco rock, all like Jefferson Airplane and Quicksilver Messenger Service and stuff. So really good. Really nice copy of John Lennon, Imagine. This was only $3. Yeah, really nice copy. Herman's Hermits debut, Introducing Herman's Hermits. This is $3. A couple dollar finds here. The first edition, their second album. Doesn't have the hit on here, but they were known for just checked in to see what condition my condition was in. This is one I've seen quite a bit in stores as well. Just never popped on. This was $1, so I picked it up. The Bugs, the Beetle Beat, and quite arguably the best dollar find I've ever had. I got super lucky with this dollar find. Allman Brothers Band at Fillmore East. This has been on my want list since I started collecting. Another drinking game on my want list. Mark it off my want list. Now this has been on my want list since I started collecting, and just wanted to hold out for an original for so long. I've seen the reissue quite a bit, and this was in the dollar bin. It had some seam splits and stuff like that, but nothing that little glue didn't fix. And there you go. You see the original pink Capricorn label. So just a fantastic find. Mind blown for sure. Some really cool stuff here in the next little pile here. This is the motion picture soundtrack to Revolution, featuring Quicksilver Messenger Service, Steve Miller Band, and Mother Earth. I believe this is a Neil's trip. Paid $6 for this, so really good. This is quite possibly the weirdest thing I've ever bought. It's called Lee Hazelwood Presents the 98% American Mom and Apple Pie 1929 Crash Band. They're all covers of instrumental covers of Lee Hazelwood songs, done in like a ragtime, like good-timey country feel almost, with one of the craziest covers that I've ever seen. This was, like $5 or $6. Just so strange. This is what I'm assuming was just kind of an Exploito Psych LP. This is on the Mercury label. The Underground Psychedelic Visions. They do some covers on here. Opens with Psychotic Reaction and Shout. Tobacco Road, of course, gets covered, as every psych band covered that song. But there's two really interesting tracks on here. The first one, Psychedelic Dream, is a psyched out version of Oh Danny Boy. Weird, crazy trippy version of it. And then Psychedelic Visions, I forgot, but it's like a Christmas song that's done in a psychedelic way. Just really cool. I've read a little bit about this online with some session musicians, that just got together to put out this Exploito LP, and it's actually not bad. I really enjoyed this. So there you go, the Underground Psychedelic Visions. Next up we have Blonde, self-titled. They are a group from Sweden. This is on Fontana. I've seen it billed online as Psych, and I listened to it once. It's all the only time I've spun it was one time, and I wouldn't really call it, definitely not heavy psych, not mainstream psych, just some really light psych elements of rock, but really a pretty good album. I was really surprised at how good this was. This was $8, so any good St. Louis area native has to have some J.D. Blackfoot in the collection. KC95, one of the local radio stations, was famous for playing his Ultimate Prophecy album just over and over and over. This is J.D. Blackfoot, the song of Crazy Horse. Some kind of country rock. A couple funny songs on here. Flushed You from the Toilet of My Heart. And Hey Johnny DJ was another really good one I enjoyed off of this. But opens with the song of Crazy Horse on side one. The LP splits it into 2 tracks with like a really little pause in between. It's really just an 18-minute song. about Crazy Horse. Really, really good. He had a really famous psych album called The Ultimate Prophecy, which I think I already mentioned, so now you know twice. You know, the Tremolos, this was $10, a little more than I pay for albums, but I was in a spending mood that day and just went ahead and picked this up. It's Here Comes My Baby. Really, really good album. I enjoyed it a lot. So I get to mark another one off the Electra 4000 series. This is Rhinoceros, Satin Chickens. Really, really good blues rock. Some good psych elements thrown into the mix. Fantastic album. I love Rhinoceros and anything they put out. Really, really good. So if you find this, do yourself a favor and pick it up. And last but not least, Alexander's Timeless Blues Band. It's For Sale is the name of the album. And it is what it sounds like. It's a blues rock band. Really good psych elements thrown in. You know, I just showed Rhinoceros, which sounds like the same thing, but this is you know, a little bit trippier, a little bit heavier than Rhinoceros. Really, really super enjoyed this. This is on Uni, same label as the Strawberry Alarm Clock. Fantastic. I really, really liked this. This is one of my favorites from what I've picked up over the last couple months. This was $8. So, guys, thank you for sticking with me. I hope you haven't been bored to tears. I appreciate you sticking around. We will talk to you later, guys. See you soon. Hey, VC. Matt here with a new... There's a spider. Nope. ABC. New vinyl finds. Or How I Learned to Stop Worrying. No. Procrastinating. Gosh, this is just terrible. Why can't I do these videos anymore? This is just awful. That spider has moved. Oh, I hate spiders. Honestly, feel like it's positioning itself above my head to drop down and eat me. Let's play a little drinking game. See how many times I can say, finally, happy to have that. No. Sneezing is the worst. I hate it. My nose just runs for days after I sneeze. My eyes water. I look like I've been crying. Awful. And that's a fact about this album. This album is an album. I'm purred happily. I listened to it once and I only spun it one time. No, I'm not even going to say that. You don't care. Why are you even still watching? This is the worst.